So there was a couple guys that were clearly looking at us, and we decided to do a little experiment. And not once did they approach her. Not once did they even attempt to. And
I can confidently tell you many women don't want to ever be approached in public.
I always feel like no men are hitting on me when I'm at a bar. I'm not trying to pick me or whatever. I don't know what it is because
Instead of directly approaching men, modern women decided to do an experiment to see if guys they liked would make the first move, but the results were disappointing because no man approached them.
last night I went out with a couple friends and we were sitting outside watching a concert, and we were just talking about how men never approach women. And I get it, it's nerve-wracking, it's uncomfortable, it could be like severe rejection, all these things, but it's frustrating when it feels like women have to do all of the work. So there was a couple guys that were clearly looking at us, and we decided to do a little experiment. So one of my friends, she went to the bathroom, and on her way back, she decided to stand like 10 feet from them. She's not gonna approach them, but she's gonna stand 10 feet from them all alone. And you're talking outdoors, concert, and she is just, in fact, I forgot that she was doing this experiment, and the look on her face looked like she was lost. So I was like, hey, we're over here. But I was like, oh yeah, we're doing this experiment. So she definitely looked approachable, almost looked like she needed help. And then she was just casually enjoying the music, even looks back at them. All the while, my other friend and I are watching, and these guys are like gawking at her, just nonstop staring at her. And she stands there for at least 10 minutes doing this, dancing and within 10 feet. And not once did they approach her. Not once did they even attempt to. And she...
Instead of playing mind game, wouldn't it be better to approach them and start the conversation? Why do they have to wait for the guy to make the first move? There is nothing wrong with women approaching men. They should try it next time.
walks then by them and around to come back to us, and they are just gawking, staring at her as she walks back. So as we get up to leave for the night, we walk literally within 2 inches of them, right in front of them, and not one says a thing. Mind you, when she came back from the bathroom, she did get approached by 4 men that were like 65, because I feel like that the men of that age and genre, that they just know how to approach women. They just know, like, that's in their DNA. And somewhere along the lines, it's gotten lost. And we were sitting there observing, and there was only one girl that was really talking to a few men, and every single time she was approaching them. So what is it? Like, what do women need to do to be approachable? We thought, okay, we're sitting in a group of 3, that can be intimidating. So she went out on her own, stood 10 feet, even did a little glance at them, was standing all alone, and still nothing. Like, what do women need to do to be approachable?
The time and energy they spend on this experiment could be spent approaching the guys they were attracted to, and they would probably have a better result. Do not expect guys to always make the first move, because a lot of guys are no longer willing to take the initiative and start the conversation even when it's evident that the women like them. This is the current situation of our dating scene, and only women who are willing to get out of their comfort zone will be able to get what they want. There are many reasons that led men to step back when it comes to approach, and most of us know what those reasons are. So it's up to women to make the first move or go home wondering like this group of women, because it's evident that they were attracted to those guys. But their inability to approach them placed them in a position where they have lost their opportunity of ending their singleness. Back in the day, men didn't have a problem approaching women, but things have changed, and it seems like women either don't want to acknowledge it or aren't willing to do what is needed. They have no problem doing whatever they can to achieve their financial goals or success. Why can't they use the same mindset when it comes to the man they want? Why don't they use the same energy and motivation when it comes to this subject? Let's have a look at some comments.
Remember, when she says men, she is talking about the men she wants, not about average Joes.
We know that most modern women are looking for chads only, and this is where their struggle comes from.
Just because a guy looks at you doesn't necessarily mean he's interested. People look at car wrecks on the highway, but that doesn't mean they want to be in one.
This is something modern women should know. For some reason, some of them think if a guy looks at them, it automatically means that he likes her, but this is further from the truth.
How are we supposed to reject those men if they never approach us?
That was a great point. It's true that in some cases modern women want to be approached just for validation. They just want to have the opportunity to reject the guy, and this is why they get mad when we take it away from them.
Why do men not understand hints?
Hints. Why give hints? Would not the best solution just to be direct about what one wants so that there's no possibility for confusion instead of beating around the bush, being indirect, and somehow magically expecting a man to be able to read one's mind?
Why do I have to spell every fucking thing out?
Serious question. Is the yelling helping at all? Is it helping to convey what one wants? Or is it just showing that one is frustrated and is unable to communicate effectively?
Why can't you just one simple little hinting at this? Fucking understand what I'm trying to say. I don't want to have to spell everything out like I'm your mother.
Well, do allow me to spell this one out. The best way for someone to understand what one actually wants would be, firstly, use those words. Make sure that they actually understand what one is wanting. Be upfront. Be honest. And by all means, stop expecting people to be mind readers.
Why do you have to give hints? Why didn't you walk up to him and tell him what you want? The worst case scenario would be a polite rejection, so what is the problem? Her video is a clear demonstration of someone who can't even approach the person she is attracted to, but at the same time, she wouldn't display the right consideration if a guy who isn't Chad approached her. Modern women have to understand that if they want to have the expected result, they will have to step up and do more than just give some hints because it's getting confusing. Some guys got rejected after receiving what they thought were hints, and this is why most guys are no longer considering those little signals as much. To make it simple for every modern woman, if you are interested in a guy, you better tell him, otherwise you will be making another video complaining about men who didn't approach even after the hint. Let's have a look at some comments.
Serious question. How do women wipe with those long-ass nails? Been wondering this for years.
I also have the same question. How do they do that?
I can kind of sympathize with this woman. I spent years with someone who I constantly had to ask for things that shouldn't have to be asked for. If you have to ask for it, it doesn't hit the same. Having a person who thinks about you and knows about you will literally make your whole day. Having an intelligent partner and them taking initiative literally feels amazing. I can't shame this woman for being upset.
This comment makes no sense. One thing is a lack of communication in a relationship, and a completely different thing is someone we never met before who wants us to read their mind. Even when living with someone, you shouldn't expect your partner to be guessing things, and this is why keeping a good line of communication in a relationship is essential, because your partner isn't a magician.
As much energy she put into yelling, she could have used it more efficiently to express what's on her mind.
This is what she should have done, and probably her results would be a lot better. Don't expect strangers to guess what you want.
I always feel like no men are hitting on me when I'm at a bar. I'm not trying to pick me or whatever. I don't know what it is, because I was like, I'm either the ugliest person on earth, which
You're not.
I'm not, or I give the biggest you energy in the world, I guess.
But like, that's never really stopped guys before.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
This is the reason guys are confused. There are countless videos of women saying that they would rather not be approached when at bars, coffee shops, and outside in general, and here she is complaining that men didn't approach her. But what exactly do they want? Should we approach modern women or not? This mixed information doesn't help our dating scene at all, and this is why she got the result she is complaining about. At this point, I believe this is the result of the message we received, and now we are in a situation where women are complaining about men's lack of initiative. They should be clearer when it comes to this matter, because at this point they are the ones who are complaining about this change. But to make it easier and simpler, just approach the man you want, talk to him, and problem solved.
Why are men hitting on me when I'm at a bar? Also, why are no men hitting on me when I'm at a bar?
This is the reality of what is going on in our current dating scene. Modern women keep sending mixed information and got most of us confused. And to stay on the safe side, guys are stepping back and letting them do the approach.
I got told to quit spying on me and my friends at a club because I made eye contact and smiled from across the room. Gave up on random women after that.
Then they complain about why we don't understand hints. A lot of them are not serious about wanting to be approached. It's all for validation and the ability to reject a guy.
Do you know women can hit on guys first? You can ask a guy out.
Well said, and this is what they should do. Most of us will be polite if not interested, therefore, they shouldn't worry about it. This is the end of our video. If you like it, don't forget to subscribe.